but I couldn't really get the germane things that I needed. But I got so many things from YouTube and some other video websites that I've gone through to be able to do this. So far, that's what I've been able to come up with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daudu. I welcome the House for your questions, contributions, suggestions. Questions, contributions, suggestions. House. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Ma. The presenter, thank you for your presentation. However, it appears we are not reading the chat from Mr. Olanite telling you that your time was up.
2 minutes. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just put it on full screen mode. Sorry about that.
Well, notwithstanding your presentation, please go back to your first slide. No, the next. Yeah, what is that chapter 1 doing there? Yeah, so you just lifted this from your this thing and you just put it here that, okay, you guys will come and read.
I apologize for that. It was an oversight.
It's not an oversight. You didn't put you didn't do due diligence in working on your slide, because if you look at what you have put there, put your cursor on a customer. Just put your cursor on it.
Okay.
Click on it, please.
Okay.
Click on it.
Yeah, I've clicked
on it. Now, this is Time New Roman fonts 12. Now, what size did I say was the list that you can use for presentation?
For presentation, I think you mentioned 26.
I said 28. So why did you put your own to be 20?
They made it difficult to read.
Oh.
Yeah, so one cannot really read what you are trying to pass across. Okay, please go to the next slide.
Okay.
The next one. Now, your statement of problem. Say for companies or business owners, understanding and meeting customer needs is germane. Manually checking through the bulk of data that is generated on social media regarding most users' perception of a particular product service is very consuming. Automating a process with this. So what is the statement of problem there? Is it that them going through manual checking of sentiments? That's the problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Please go to your aim and objectives. Now you say to perform a customer review on phone brands, specification and prices by using data scraping and sentiment analysis to draw incisive conclusion on the Jumia. Now, what do you want to do? It is not specific. It's just a lot of words. You want to perform customer review, or you want to scrap customer review.
How?
So what I said that I wanted to do is to scrape data from Jumia.com regarding phone brand specification and prices, then perform sentiment analysis on how people view those particular products.
Now look at the first statement, to perform a customer review on phone brand. Are you the one performing the review? Because I don't understand that first statement, to perform a customer review on phone brand. Are you one of the customers doing the review?
No, it's just my way of saying that. I can reform it, but it's just my way.
See, let me tell you some of these things. Once you are writing, right, you're not writing for yourself to understand. You are writing for everybody to understand. And one of the beauty of writing is that if I'm able to read another meaning on what you are writing, then there's a problem. Now, what I understand from here is that to perform a customer review on, that means you are one of the customer and you are giving a review, specification and price. Then how has using data scrapping and sentiment analysis come in to what you are doing? It doesn't add up.
Okay, sir. Maybe I should briefly explain. So
look, you don't explain what I understand from your statement. I expect you to have written the correct thing, not to explain to me. This statement does not make any sense, as it were. You say you want to perform a customer review. That is what you want to do. But actually what you want to do is data scraping and sentiment analysis of customers' review. Not that you are performing customer review. Do you get my argument?
Yes, sir. I get your argument.
Yeah, so I think this should be rephrased, that to perform a data scraping and sentiment analysis on customer reviews on phones to get insightful conclusions from Jumia website.
Phone?
Exactly, is it only phone? That's the truth. It's even narrow.
Remove the Jumia, don't put names.
I just wanted to be very specific because, you know,
No.
We should be able to adopt your system. Exactly, you should be able to adopt your system for anything.
Other products.
For any brand.
That's the okay, I can do that, sir. I'll take that into.
So it should be businesses, our large businesses. Okay. So in your review of literature, in your maybe scope or maybe review of, you can now talk about some of these big companies that generate very large data. Then you talk about how you get the data in, how you look at the sentiments, then how you analyze them, and what are those conclusions you want to draw.
Okay, sir.
All right. I think I will stop here for now.
In fact, you can pick other products and see how each product would react to what you are doing. E.g., phone, TV, clothing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You just say products, brands, specification, and prices by using data scraping and sentiment analysis to draw insightful conclusion, full stop. Don't put all your Jumia website. No. If they call you now, did you ask them for permission to use their website? What would you tell them? They're laughing.
No, ma, I have, that's why I put the robot.txt here. It's allowed. You can, the webmaster says you're allowed to review the products from there. You can scrape the data.
Okay. Let's see your objective.
Okay, ma'am.
Out of all these 5 objectives, how are they connected to your aim? To navigate and the target web page by making HTTP requests and downloading the response.
Yes, ma'am. So, okay. Okay, I wanted to respond to the question, ma'am. So the A part of the objective is to, like I said, to navigate to the target web page. So there are other ways. From what I am researching, this particular methodology will only help me to scrape data for a section of the web. But I can also scrape data for multiple sections of the web. If just like you've advised me now, I can make it a lot more than just phones and the likes like that. So I'll just need to go back and make sure that the objective accommodates that as well. So this one, since it was specified to just one, so the idea is just to get that particular URL, the exact page that I want to scrape data from. And just
under this objective, at what point is your sentiment analysis coming in?
Number 3. No, number 4. No, between number 3 and 4.
Yeah, number 3 is just pre-processing stage. Number 4, you've still not written it out. I think it's just too plain. You want to classify whether it's positive or negative to what? I don't get.
That's where
Positive or
this.
negative?
Okay, ma. Sorry, ma. Yes, ma. I get you. So the sentiment analysis this goal at the end of the day, it could have been more, but I just wanted to make it brief, is to classify, the wordings into whether they are positive, negative, or neutral.
I
And then
think you should
further,
look for a more technical way to represent that just telling us is going for negative, and a layman will not understand.
Okay.
Well, you need to even first explain. Did you explain sentiment analysis in your introduction? Because those words were too small, so I didn't see it.
Yes, I did. It wasn't all that far from what I put there. I just said it's a process of computationally identifying and categorizing opinions to determine.
Yeah. So how do you now computationally do this, categorize them? So is that computational aspect that we want to see in the degree you are obtaining?
Okay.
Yeah. And again, are you going to create like a website, or you're going to create a software that does that? Are you going to create a software that does tokenization, or you're just calling a library to do that? Are you creating an interface there? You call a library on a click of a button?
Yes, I plan to create an interface with Python and do that.
So from there, you will just be calling libraries. So what are you going to do exactly? Just calling libraries?
I'm going to have to be the one to link all those things together to make it work.
Really?
Go back to your objectives, please.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you see these objectives, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't think they are not research worthy. Well, that's my opinion anyway. Look, to navigate to the target web page by making HTTP requests and downloading this one.
All these things are pre-processing stage.
I don't get it. It's just so flat. Now, to pass and transform the data into an HTML parser, these things is saying, how?
That's why
to
I asked you that.
tokenize
What
and
point
clean
are
and
you
extract
using?
data by removing. How? That's the question
All
we
these
want to
ones
ask.
are pre-processing stage too. And they should not be objective. Of course, you would clean your data before now and you tokenize it. So what are you now telling me that is an objective?
So I think this objective is just 1 or 2, right? So pre-processing, then retrieve the data derived and store for use for referral.
You don't want to tell us you are.
Work on this. Can you please just explain what you want to do technically?
Okay, sir. So just like I said, get a particular website. I've chosen Jumia because it allows you to scrape some things that I needed for this project. So my idea is I want to use Python to create maybe a small program, an interface where I can just put in the URL of a website or a particular link. So it will help me scrape all the data that I specify that I want. And
do you have an architectural framework for that process?
I don't at the moment, but
you've not done much.
I'm just by architectural framework, do you mean maybe some kind of algorithm that I already have or flowcharts? Because I have everything in my head. I just don't have a documentation for it.
Am I supposed to break your head and sit?
How are we supposed to read your head now tonight?
Because we've not gotten to that stage yet. So I'm
really?
What I'm saying is that this is still.
Listen. You see, the essence of this presentation is for 3 or 2 things. 1, for you to get a way of preparing your slide, then again to be able to face your examiners, right? Then to be able to put your thoughts into perspective because of the criticism that you're going to be having or the contribution you're going to be having. That's why we are presenting. As a matter of fact, you should have gone far. It shows that you have read a lot, you understand what you want to do. But once I don't see a document, you have not done anything. I can't grade the content in your head. You know, maybe your head is bigger than mine. I don't know. So how do I want to grade it? But from what you have said, it seems that you understand what you want to do, but you are not putting it in perspective, academic perspective.
And you've not gotten the methodology totally to me. Because if you've gotten it, your objective will be more
robust
than what you have here.
Yeah, so well, in order not to waste too much of our time, I think he should go and look at his objectives critically and methodology.
Exactly.
Because from what I've seen, he has a good review of what he wants to do. And of course, from what I'm seeing, we just create an interface, start calling libraries, then just snap and paste this thing for his chapter 4. So his work is ready as it stands. But I just hope he'll be technical enough in his presentation of chapter 1 and 3.
He doesn't have objective now.
That's what I'm saying now, is when he modifies the objective that his methodology will come up nice. Or maybe come up with your methodology, then from there, derive your objectives. But you may not be experienced enough in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
May not be.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ma. I'll work accordingly as you have advised. Thanks a lot.
So as soon as you leave here now, I'm sure you have forgotten what you're supposed to do.
I'll listen to the recording.
They don't send me the recorded this thing again, no. So I don't know why.
What happened?
I don't know. You know, I think some people try to join earlier, so they will leave. So that's what they will send to me as the recording for that period. So I don't get the main recording. I don't know.
I see you.
But I will still check if I can navigate to where the recording is. So thank you. What's this fellow's name?
Sulaiman
Daudu. You seem interesting in your presentation. Somebody is raising up his hand. Okay, Chukunaji.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I just want to seek permission. I know I'm not supposed to present today, just to show that I have something different I want to present, if I'll be allowed to. I'm just appealing, sir.
Dr. Abiodun, we have other people presenting.
We have Mr. Akiseye left. Then who else? Who else is presenting today? Nobody. Okay, Akasi. Let's see. I'm not sure if we have that time, but let's see. Mr. Oluseye, over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, please, I'm getting a message, host disabled participants screen sharing.
Mr. Daudu, please, can you unshare?
Yes, I've unshared, man. Just go ahead and click OK, share.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
The last person should please get ready too.
Please, can you see my screen?
I'm not seeing anything.
Go to share, click on the document you want to share, then click on share.
Yes, I've clicked on share, right?
Okay, your screen is starting up.
Thank you.
Design on the we have.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Oluseye Oyede, with matric number 199074158. And my supervisors are Dr. Efo Adamu and Dr. Abiodun Adeyinka. I will be doing a short presentation on my project, which is to design and implementation of an enhanced, automated, and robust population census administration system to improve the current census administration in Nigeria. This is a table of content, and then just by the way of introduction, the UNFPA, it's a body that actually manages, that encourages countries to ensure that they have population and housing census, which is a count of people, demographics, and people living in the country at a particular point in time. It is actually like a standard or a framework that this should be used as a, to make economic decisions and also for economic planning. And from their survey or from their the assessment they carried out, Nigeria is one of the the countries that does not have current census. The last census that was done in Nigeria, that full census was done sometimes in 2006. And then there was actually another one that was done in December 2021 last year, but that was like a pretest for the one that is coming up sometimes in May this year. The date has not been fixed. All right, so based on some literature review I did, I was able to see, understand that majority of the reason why this has not, this census has not been done is majorly around ineffective organization and managerial skill gap, poor or no adoption of current technologies, high cost of funding or poor funding from the government, and also, of course, political problems. And so I actually do a deep dive analysis to look at it from the perspective of how can we look at the current technology that is being used in carrying out census in Nigeria. The last one that was done was a form that was used. So you have enumerators going around, and then asking people questions, doing interview, and then capture the information on a form, which is taken back to the office, and then it is scanned using a form scanner, and then the information is now uploaded to the system. So I look at it that the major problem here, out of the problem listed, is a poor adoption of current technology in using, in administering census in Nigeria. So I decided to want to look at that to find a way of how to use cutting-edge technologies that we have today, like mobile apps, developing an online portal where you can go and do self-enumeration, and also where the enumerators can be onboarded, and there is a proper monitoring of the activities of census itself in terms of coverage, and also to have the data captured real time, and then have a faster and then faster time, shorter time to capture data from by enumerators. So my problem statement is, in Nigeria for over 10 years, we've not been able to do carry out census, and majorly is because we are using the traditional method of doing census. In other countries like UAE, America, France, and all of that, they've moved away from traditional census. In fact, although UNFPA says you should do census every 10 years. In fact, I think in France, I stand to be corrected, they don't do 10 years. They update their population real time using leveraging on current technology. So the problem statement is Nigeria as a country, we're still using the traditional method of carrying out our census. And then although based on the last improvements that were done by NPC, that's the National Population Census, they have actually improved and replaced use of form by enumerators with a mobile app. So they go around with a mobile app and they capture they carry out the questionnaire, and they capture the input or feedback, and then it's now sent to a central database. Now, even with that, it's not still fully optimized, in the sense that the time to capture or the time to cover. So you just you have a certain number of enumerator or limited number of enumerator, to cover a community of like the 10,000 or 20,000, it takes them longer time. So it's still there's still work in process to improve it, and then it's also prone to error. They can make mistakes and all of that. So the non-availability of robust and automated census administration system has been a major contributor in conducting census in Nigeria. Other issues are security challenges. If you can get the technology part right, I think there will be minimal impact of security challenges, impacting how census is conducted. So if you can get people to remotely send the feedback to interviews, maybe via SMS or USSD, even in places where they're not technology savvy, but at least to an extent they can use their phone. I think it will help. So adopting technology will help to minimize the impact of the other issues. The increase in number of days. Most times when census are conducted, it takes number of days. I don't know whether
your time is up. You are just reading plenty things. Your time is up. You should be reading the charts sent by Mr. Olanite.
Oh, so sorry. I'm in full screen. So let me just rush through the aim and objectives. So the aim is to conduct a comprehensive technology assessment to see what MPC currently have and what they are using currently, and then do a kind of a gap analysis and see what areas that I can introduce new technologies, even cheaper technology, so that we can have a better way of database integration, data collection, improve data security and human resource management, data analysis, data retention, and for effective and cost-efficient administration. So the research statement is actually to address, to answer these questions. What are the current processes that are manual or partially automated that can be fully automated with using cheaper and better technology, so that use cases like enumerator onboarding, assigning them, training them, also as Nigerians or citizens, you can actually schedule a time that you want an enumerator to come and visit you, instead of the normal traditional way of wait at home is when they come. Also from an administrative perspective, they can manage everything real time in terms of coverage, which areas have been covered and all of that. Also introducing things like self-enumeration, using a computer assisted self-interview, where you can actually go online and answer the interview question, and instead of the traditional method. Is it possible that this can be done? Also, using the new technology, can we be able to integrate our national database, NIMSI, our births and deaths registers and all of that, to use it, to come up with our census figure? So that is what is some of the questions that the research will answer. These are some of the references, and this is an appendix. Thanks. I apologize for shooting over time.
Thank you, Mr. Olushayo.
Thank you.
We welcome questions, contributions, suggestions. Over to you, the House. Questions for the presenter?
Yeah, well, I think the presenter has succeeded in presenting a lecture as against a proposal, or like a proposal defense. Now, look at where you are even, let's start with where you are, what you are showing us. Say the aim and objective. Now, look at your objective. Now, the objective is to design and implement and improve automated census administration system using cutting-edge technologies for DB integration and data collection information. Oh, goodness. You should be able to summarize look, if I want to teach, then this may be acceptable, but you are presenting your aim. In fact, your objective is even more suitable to be your aim. Now, look at the aim you have written: to conduct a comprehensive technology assessment, to determine the level of adoption of cutting-edge technology in carrying out census administration by. Please, you need to review all you have written. It's too wordy. And you were in the class, the other presentation last week, right? This is too wordy. It is not a good presentation at all. Despite the fact that what you want to do is interesting, and of course, it's of national importance. Nonetheless, the way you have presented it makes it very boring. Please move back a bit on your slide. Now, look at your problem statement. Can you finish presenting this in 5 minutes that you are even given? Move back a bit again. Look at this. No, you're not supposed to pack all this and just slam it on it. No. You tell us, okay, what is population census? You tell us that population census generates the population of this full stop. Then you tell us, okay, what are the issues that have bedeviled the previous, when did last we do this thing? What technologies that can we adopt to make it better? Then you go to your statement of problem, right? So this thing is quite boring and too long. It's too worded. This is not a PowerPoint. This is a word point. And I hope you'll be able to improve on this. It's too long. And that's why in fact, if you look at when Mr. Olanite pointed that your time was up, you were still on your preamble or probably the other slides there. So please, this is a poor presentation, and I hope that you will do another slide and send to the group chat so that we'll be able to see that there's an improvement on your work. This is not acceptable at all, at all. Your thoughts is good. What you want to present is good. What you want to do is good. But your presentation is poor.
Okay, sir. Feedback taken, sir.
Yeah, that's my thought for now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me quickly go through my own. Number one, your topic is too long. Automated sensors using Nigeria as a case study. That one can be in bracket. So all the other ones, knock it out. This preamble, like Dr. Lamu had said, you should explain sensors to us. Just tell us a line why sensors is important, okay? And then tell us the methods they've used. You can use that as bullet points, which you will speak into for this preamble. Methods they've used before.
Okay.
And I think you can stop there. This place, what you have here, you just started giving us analysis. After that one, you explain the problem statement in this preamble. If you look at it very well. Before you got to your problem statement, I already knew the problems that sensors were facing with this preamble, which shouldn't be. You should introduce us to what you are actually doing. Then, in this place, there should be a link between your sensors and automation in this preamble. You can put your point in bullets. Explain sensors, explain why it's important in a line, okay? Then tell us, like they used to count, they've counted manually, they've counted automatedly, blah, blah, blah. Explain it, but in your points, and you speak to the point. You don't have to start telling us about the problem.
Okay.
In this preamble, which you already loaded us with badass problem here. So we already knew where we're going to. Now, the problem statements too. There's a way you can actually package it. Let me tell you, they've done sensors. Okay, we have traditional way, we have manual way of doing it and automated. Those that did it automatedly, what were the problems they saw? So what exactly are you bringing to the table now? Because I can't see any new thing you are bringing. You want to have a review where we can actually connect which agencies now. So you will be able to do death certificates, birth certificate. What technology are you going to use to do that? Has any country done that before? If no, that's your own contribution. So the technology behind how you're going to integrate everything together is what you would actually showcase to us. The bottom line is that we've been doing it manually in Nigeria, but some countries have advanced, they've done it, they've automated it. But having automated it, they still have this and this problem. You have the opinion that coming in, integrating this software or coming up with this technology to actually bring in this agency for Nigeria, it will help. Full stop. I can't find that in this whole presentation. So where exactly are we doing?
Okay, ma.
Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand perfectly.
Hey.
So
Self-elimination using computerized aided. How is that one going to work? Can you expatiate further on that? How is the technology that would combine these agencies together? How is it going to work? Because that's the only thing I could pick. You want to combine, but you didn't tell us the technology you are going to use to combine the agencies together, such that if they've counted once, we can now think of a birth certificate and death certificate. Automatically, it just updates it for us. Are you sure other countries have not done that? If they've done it, what were the challenges they faced? Now, I saw your references. We have 2019, 2021. What did they say in those papers?
okay, so the reason why I picked those references were because those technology that are being used by other countries, the papers actually that they used to introduce those technologies where they actually came at that time, you know, and so in terms of looking at our own technology, we are far behind. Some countries have actually implemented this. So this is just like bringing this home to Nigeria, looking at Nigerian factors, looking at our national
This
infrastructures.
CASI, which countries have used the CASI before? The self-elimination using computer assisted.
Okay, so it's being used in France, US, Russia, and Korea.
Okay, how did they use it?
So they host a portal on government websites, and they open up those portals. So you go there and fill the form there, and that form, comes to the central database, and then the enumerator, the supervisors, they will look at it, review it, and then allows it to go into the main database, which will now be counted.
How do you now want to connect your CASI? What problems did they say CASI had? How do you want to connect CASI with NIMC, including other agencies in Nigeria? Because now we can establish the fact that there's CASI.
Okay. Can I speak, ma?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, so CASI is actually does not have a relationship with integrating the existing national database. CASI is just to allow more coverage, more census coverage. So and also to allow flexibility in terms of the time that it takes to conduct the interview. So, for example, people that traditionally the way we conduct success in Nigeria is that we ask everybody to stay at home, and then that will impact on business and economy. So
I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
If some people do not register, how will the system in this France, UK, US, how will it capture them? Some people will just be adamant and they will not register. Then how do you want to incorporate this CASI in your own system now? That's the point I need you to go straight to.
Okay, so with this, the people that submit their, respond to this interview over CASI, right? They'll be exempted from the people that the enumerator will go and visit physically. So they will
How
be
do you know them?
So based on the information they provide their house address, phone number, information, and other demographics. So you can exempt them when you are doing, the other method of visiting them. So it's an hybrid. It's an hybrid way of, conducting census. That's the way they do it in those places. That's methodology.
in those places. So what's your own methodology now?
No, I'm borrowing the same method that they use. So this one is actually, so when instead of having the enumerator to visit, like let's say, for example, for the purpose of conversation, 10,000 in a community. So if we have about 5,000 people that have been able to go and use this CASI, then they have 5,000 people left that the enumerator will visit and then, do, face-to-face or direct interview.
So you're just repeating the same process in a different country. Am I right?
So yes, now I'm adopting it, but also looking at Nigerian method of it. So in those countries, this actually form like 70 or 80% of the way they do it, and they do it like because they have they have more people who are technology savvy, and then they have internet more internet coverage. So here is just to use it as part of the method to use. So it's going to be like in Nigeria, we're going to be using like an hybrid method. So we're using this CASI plus the paper method, and also look at other ways to bring
which
it
other
home.
ways? You've not specified these other ways. I'm trying to make a point now. You've not specified these other ways. That's number one. I'm of the opinion that you should look for how you will connect these agencies to CASI. Now, the problem now will be that how would you know who has registered and who has not registered? How would you know that after this one registered, he passed on? How would you be able to bring him out and not count him again? These are the points you should look at now, not just these surface things you are saying. Do you understand me?
Yes, I do.
So you need to go back and sit down and look for a technology. They've done CASI. We want to adopt it. Now, how would you know who has registered and who has not registered here in Nigeria? If somebody passes on and he has registered, how would they delete it? How would you connect them to these agencies? I think that's what you should work on now. And it's just something you can sit down and map out. You need to think through and think well.
Okay, feedback noted. I've noted it. Thank you.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so please, any other questions, please, any contribution?
Well, I don't think this candidate understands the weight of what he has set out to do. Now, you're going to get databases from names, right? From who again? 3 agencies. Then you do a kind of mapping for all the databases. You clean them in such a way that the ontologies will have to match. Then you now start deleting and inserting.
They will
is a lot of
are you
work.
Sure you won't have access? Well, you can propose. You can propose a system. It's not like they will even give them their database in.
Exactly.
So you will propose it. Let's hope that it will work.
Okay, so my thought also
you can have
is
a demo.
To have a model of their database and structure, and then leverage on that for discussion purpose. I've also thought of it, and I not want to provide, but I think there are some information in public domain that actually shows their database structure that I can leverage on, at least for to come up with something.
All right, you have exerted yourself for too long, and we have shot above our timing. Maybe we have the another person. Well, you have tried your shots, and I hope that you have taken to the corrections and some of the good or bad criticism that you have received. That's to make you better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope you see it in that light. Next person, please.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next person, Mr.
Okay, Chico.
Emory Akaseva, Patrick. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Can you make it in? Okay, just leave it like that so that you'll be able to see Mr. Olanite's threats that your time is up.
Okay, my name
5
is
minutes.
Emory Akaseva, Patrick. And my supervisors are Dr. F.O. Alamu and Dr. Abiodun Adeyinka. My topic is my research topic is design and implementation of weather forecasting system using artificial intelligence. So I'll start by defining or describing key terms for this research. Weather forecasting is a way of using science and technology to predict the climate or the atmospheric condition of a place. To do this, you have to collect data like temperature, humidity, rate of rainfall, air pressure, and so many other key data. Then the next part is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a way of, or is the ability of the computer to do tasks that are done by human intelligence. Yeah, and then the next part is climate change.
Yeah, please, can you speak up a bit?
Okay, so yeah, climate change is a long-term shift in temperatures and weather pattern. And this is one of the reasons for this research. Like we can see here that climate change has pushed the limit of reliable temperature, rainfall, and wind forecast by about a day each time the atmosphere warms, or even by a few degrees. So this is a key part of the research. Now, if it were okay, now artificial intelligence and weather forecasting. The key term here is machine learning, because we intend to use machine learning algorithms to find patterns in the data we're going to collect. And then how does machine learning work? First, you collect the data, then you store it, and then you enrich that as you learn. A machine learns patterns. It also trains itself on how to apply it, and then the result. The statement of problem here is mid-range weather forecast, and then long-range weather forecast. Over time, it's been easier to predict the weather for short range. So due to climate change and other factors, it's been very difficult to get accurate weather forecast for the, let's say monthly or seasonal forecast. And then you also see climate change has affected weather prediction. Okay, the aim is the aim is to design and implement a seasonal weather forecast. To design and implement a seasonal weather forecasting system using machine learning algorithms. Our objectives are to use neural networks and deep learning approach to build a data-driven software to collect seasonal and sub-seasonal data of atmospheric variables from a meteorologist, that's from NIMET, and to help in disaster management and recovery. That's some key literatures and references.
Thank you.
I think I've given the example here. I like to give examples.
Suggestion, contribution.
Experience has shown that when you give examples, people understand. I don't know why, but
Suggestions, contributions from the house.
get someone who is a trained chef who just freelances way, people understanding how to.
Suggestions, contributions, please.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Mr. Akase. But who presented? Can you please go back to your first slide, your topic? Now, your topic says design and implementation of a weather forecasting system using artificial intelligence. Now, what we discussed earlier is that you are designing a weather forecasting system for seasonal changes. Of course, I saw that in the body of your work, because if you just put that as simple as that, they will tell you that, of course, artificial intelligence has been used in weather forecasting, right? And I think it's better you just put that catchword that everybody is using now, that implementation of weather forecasting using machine learning. If you put artificial intelligence, it becomes too flat, right? Go to the third slide. Yes, no, before this. Okay, no, the next one. Next. Change some, okay, climate change. Okay, now, no. Let me see something. Okay, climate change has pushed the limit of reliable temperatures, rainfall, wind forecast by about a day each time the atmosphere warms by even a few degrees Celsius. Now, what does this mean? Climate change has pushed the limit of reliable temperature, it has pushed rainfall, and it has also pushed wind forecast by about a day. Can you speak to that, please? Mr. Akasi, are you still online?
What I'm trying to say is that because of climate change, is it's been difficult to get accurate data. It's been difficult to get data that will provide accurate forecast.
Yeah, well, I think from what I'm sensing, I think there's a problem around you or something. You are very hesitant in presenting your thoughts, and I don't know why. At least it's not the Mr. Akasai I know or some Akas that I know. Probably you are hesitating, or you don't want to go all out to present. I don't know, or probably you are not prepared. Is either of all those because your thoughts are not well articulated, though your slides and everything brings to fore what you intend to do. Okay, please go to your aim and objective, please. All right, so the aim is this study. Bros, this thing with me. Is that correct?
That's an oversight. I should have seen that.
Yeah, so the aim, okay, let's see, of this study is to design and implement a seasonal weather forecasting system using machine learning algorithm. Now, this should be your topic, as in it should be reflected in your topic, right? Now, objective, to use neural networks and deep learning approach to build a data driven software. How do you want to achieve this? What methods are you going to use to achieve the first objective? Then the second objective is to collect seasonal and seasonal data of atmospheric variables from meteorology. This should be your first objective, getting the data or pre-processing the data, right? Then, of course, you could advance a method for this. But this first one that you have written, to use neural nets and the deep learning approach to build the data, how do you want to achieve it? Then to help in disaster management and recovery. How is this an objective? Yeah, Mr. Akase, can you speak to this, please?
Okay, to help in disaster management, it's because weather forecasting is not just about going out with an umbrella and not getting wet. It could also help in predicting periods of heavy fall that could lead to flood, and then that could help manage future disasters.
So, Mr. Kase, how is this an objective in a research work? This can be a recommendation or maybe your conclusion, but this cannot be an objective. How do you want to achieve this objective to help in disaster management? Are you going to jump out of the, your software will just jump out and help in disaster management or recovery? No, it has not, there's no science in this. No science in all this. The work is to design. How do you want to design? What do you want to design? Are you designing a model? Now, implementation. What language are you implementing it in? These are the things, these are the questions you should be asking. Yeah, I don't know. Is it that there's a challenge that you are facing, but I don't think this is you presenting. Or did you tell somebody to come and present for you?
No, sir, I'm the one presenting.
So what's wrong? Why are you presenting in this manner?
No, I had to stop somewhere to make the presentation. I was on my way home.
So you are not comfortable where you are. That is what, well, over to the moderator, Dr. Adeyinka.
Okay, so what do you want us to do now? Because this is your objective, Seth. To me, they are not objectives. To use neural networks and deep learning approach to build data-driven software. It looks too ambiguous. To collect seasonal and non-subseasonal data of atmospheric variance from. If you collect it, what do you want to use it for? To help in disaster management and recovery. So what do we do now? To design and implement this plan. What exactly do you want to do? Just summarize for us and tell us what do you want to do, so we'll even know where to pick it up from there. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm with you. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. From the problem statement, I talked about mid-range and long-range forecast and how it's been difficult to get accurate forecast for mid-range and long-range forecast. So what I intend to do is to build a software that will manage both seasonal and sub-seasonal forecast. That's the mid-range and the long range.
Okay, so how is that one going to build the weather forecast system? You did not reflect anything managed here in your aim. The objectives too, I don't see how they are relating to the aim, except for objective number 1. Let me see your references, please. References. Okay, so what did they say in number 1 reference? The second reference to they're using artificial intelligence in weather monitoring, weather forecasting. Go to the first, yes. Reference 1, reference 2. What did the paper state?
Okay, for reference 1 was able to manage the short-term weather forecast, was able to predict weather for a day. Yeah, using machine learning algorithms. That's for the next day. It was able to predict for the next day. Then for the second one, used a linear regression.
To do what?
The second one used linear regression to, excuse me. The second one used linear regression to predict events. Linear regression is a way of using data to predict future events. So it used linear regression in its application.
I don't think the way you're even answering, you're not coordinated. So what do you want us to do now? And me, I'm not convinced with this work. Like,
Yeah, well, I think there are issues with, well, of course, probably it's personal with him or not, but this work is unprepared. So, and again, it doesn't seem that you really understand the concept of machine learning, as it were. Have you done any work on machine learning before? Mr. Akasia?
Not really, I've just read about it.
And you think you can just dabble into it and get something done?
Yes, sir. I've also found some libraries I can use that can help me.
You see, that's the problem we have with students, just joining libraries. Can't you build your own libraries? Yeah, well, I don't know, but I think your presentation today is below average, and I hope that you'll be able to do something about it. So that's my thought.
Please, can you restructure your objectives, including the aim? Let's see what they've done before in a tabular form, what they've done before on this prediction using machine learning. Let's see how they did it and what they didn't do that your own system is addressing. If you're able to answer that, I mean, you're in the right path. Did you hear me? What they've done before with machine learning on weather forecasting, how did they do it and what their system could not do? Now, let's see what your own system is doing that their system could not do. That would help you rephrase your objectives very well and the aim. Then
Okay.
probably by next meeting, you'll be in a better mood. We hope. Any other question, contribution? You people are not asking questions this evening, no? Is it that you're tired or you just joined so they won't start saying we did not join? Questions.
Exactly my thought.
Nobody has spoken since morning.
Just call anybody.
The MSc students. The MSc students. Chidera. Abi, they just joined.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, ma.
Oh, yeah, ask question. Good evening. Where is Ekoma Wumi? Chidera, ask your question. Ade drawing. Dolapo Alibalogun, ask questions. Opeyemi, Emmanuel. Or you just plug the system and be like, oh, when you finish the meeting, people should call me. Joy, ask your questions, please. It's
Yeah,
like they don't have questions.
Joy is not in the meeting. She just joined and leave. The same happened
Like
last week.
No, sir, I'm in a meeting, sir.
You are in which meeting? Okay. Oh.
I saw the name Joy there now. You people don't have questions for Mr. our previous presenter.
No, for now, ma.
You're all saving him. You better ask him question now, so you all open our floors here before you move to the main stage. Nobody, no question. So what do we do to Mr. Nnamdi's case?
Well, I think you should just decide if he should present or not.
Please, let's give him 3 minutes.
Okay, ma, thank you. I'll rush it.
If he's able to
3
finish, if he
minutes,
doesn't,
please.
you yank him off.
Exactly.
I'll rush it. I'll rush it. I promise. I'll rush it.
Aim and objective.
Okay. All right.
Topic, problem statement, aim and objective. Let's see.
Okay. So I'm disabled from sharing. Can you showing this host disabled participants screen sharing?
He's now made you a co-host, so you can. Timekeeper, please be at alert.
Have you enabled me to share? Okay, good. Okay. All right. So my name is Okechukwu, and my MIT 821 topic in computing.
Forget that one.
I'm
Topic.
looking at design and implementation of digital right management system. Now, introduction. What is digital right management system? Digital right management system systematic approach to copyright protection for digital media. DRM purpose is to prevent illegal distribution of paid content over the internet. DRM technology is a design in response to the rapid increase in online piracy of commercially marketed material, which is proliferated through the widespread of hyperlink and peer-to-peer file exchange. Now, what digital rights try to do, as we know in the internet today, we have a lot of download of material in form of videos, music, and ebooks, and subcoms are owned by individuals that try this material. But you see today that most of our musicians and video producers have been charged downloading it, to go as far as distributing it and selling it and passing it as their own. Now, what are the benefits? This application will help the owner of this content, content. It helps enforce copyright law.
What happened?
I even thought it was my system. Hello, Mr. Anaji, are you there? What's the problem? What's the problem? I think he has network problem.
I think it's an audio problem.
But you're just connecting now.
The screen is still showing.
Oh, he's the one trying to connect. Okay.
Why is this guy wasting everybody's time, for goodness sake? Ha.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry, can you hear me now? Hello, Ma.
Yeah, we can.
Sorry, my internet went back to change it. Sorry. Okay, let me continue. So the benefit of digital right management system is also enable business growth. Now, most of these producers and the music owners, it will enable them to grow their company because those that goes online to download material that is commercially marketable, and they do that and pass it as their own. Also, the digital right management system also protect the compliance with regional law that protects copyright enforcement. Now, how is digital right management system different from the regular protection of document? Now, in our system, we can carry document, either soft copy and put in a folder and password it. But in digital right management, it restricts this content by encoding these documents with the owner's identity. So even when it's being distributed, that content is still protected from illegal distribution of that material. Now, again, the key feature of this technology is that it has to be compatible with the system protocol, either on a laptop or any application that will be used to design this. It has to be monitored. It should be a way, it has to be able to monitor this content, either the video or the music, as it's being sold, to see the progress in the market. It integrates with existing content infrastructure. The content that is being used, either the operating system of the application that you are using, should be able to carry that system. Now, my statement of problem. Now, the popularity of personal computer and internet and file sharing tools have made the distribution of copyright digital material simple. A lot of digital products like music, films, software, and text image, etc., are available on the internet and are freely available through various network architecture. In the offline world, these products are protected by copyright law and are available for price. But on the internet, they are mainly available for free through P2P network. This free distribution and download is frequently referred to as online piracy of copyright material. So with this, like I said, this is the statement, this is the problem at hand. People going online, going to download other people's material and passing it on as their own. Now, my aim is to design and implement the digital right management system using PHP to restrict the way in which users integrate with content online and offline, such as listening to music, sharing content with friends, and unauthorized download of tutorial videos and ebook. The objective is to protect content owner from copyright infringement, provide a software system that enables themselves control how users access their digital content and control its distribution of same. This can be achieved by what I plan to do is to set an expiring date for this access material. So once, if you want to access the maybe for example, a video or a book, you can set it in a way that you have limited access to it, maybe for a week or two, then that access will be blocked. Then limit the number of times content may be accessed, okay? Restrict user from editing or saving content. If the control or access you are giving to the user is to view and to read, it will prevent them also from editing it or saving, because if they edit or save, they can manipulate it and you pass it on as their own. It will also create a application whereby it will stop them from screenshotting this content also. And the distribution, because once they download this material, they can easily distribute it even after paying, and the material is sold to them, they can still distribute. But it will be done in a way that this content, for example, video, will still carry the identity of the original owner. So thereby, even if it's being distributed, people will still know that this content belongs to someone else and not the person passing it at his own. Then it restricts user from printing your content, from paying before paying is confirmed. This application also will provide an avenue where the owner or the user of this management system can use it to sell his product, either video or music. And also it will provide watermark work and document to establish ownership and identity. Like I said it before, it will embed the owner content into this material so that when it's being distributed, it will carry the owner content with it while it's being distributed. And this is my references I have used for this research work. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm sorry for the internet failure.
Thank you, Mr. Presenter. We welcome questions for the presenter. Dr. Alamu.
Well, I don't think I have any comment because I don't see any novelty in what you have presented.
Hello, sir. I didn't get that.
He said he doesn't see any novelty in what you've done. Do you know what you presented? They've been doing it before. So how is your own different? Like we all know, people still view people's videos, they steal their films. And I think there's a law that guides them now. Okay, so how is your own different? What new thing are you bringing?
Okay, it's this application, content owner like music producer and video producer, they can use this application, all right, and embed those documents into it so that when somebody wants to download this material, it restricts them from downloading maybe new videos that just musician just released, new music also. It restricts them from downloading it without paying. So the application will also put in a form of marketing that will enable the content owner to sell this product online, rather than people going online to different sites and downloading their materials without their consent.
You didn't show us how the application will do all that.
Yes, this will be using PHP.
Just hold on this your problem. No. Man, you've still not improved. See your objective, see the aim. Like read what others have presented since morning. See what you are presenting. And this is your second time. The popularity of personal computers international have made the distribution of copyright simple. Okay, a lot of visual music it is available and they are feeding. Yes, in the line of these products are protected by copyright law, yes, and are available for a price, but on the internet they are mainly available for free too. This is free. Please move to your aim and objective. Man, you don't think this thing is too much? Then is to design and implement using in which user interact with them. You are using PHP to restrict the ways in which user interact with content online and offline, such as listening to music. How is that what you are going to do? What's the topic? The objective is okay. The topic is what?
Design and implementation of digital rights management system.
Digital rights management system. The objective
Dr. Adeyinka, I think what this candidate is doing is just to assert himself and present nothing. You are not, I'm sorry to say, you are not a candidate built for research. Look at what you have written as your aim and objectives, and you want me to sit down to listen to you. You are not teachable, to say the least. Is this what we set out to be as objectives? Look at your aim. No, I can't take all this stuff. It is not tenable. So you are just wasting my time. I'm sorry to say that. Maybe we should go to another thing instead of having to wait and somebody exerting himself and wasting the.
You know what, Mr. Energy, Mr. Olanite, Mr. Olanite.
Ma.
I'm handing over Mr. Energy to you. Put him through.
Okay, ma.
Yes. Put him through this week before Sunday. And both of you can get back to me personally. You can see the aim and objective and everything. You need to get a problem. The problem you are bringing up is nothing. Sincerely, you want to create software. I'm sure there are softwares that do that. So what exactly are you doing? So Nanite, I'm handing him over to you. Please put him through. So that before Sunday, we would have something. Is that okay with you, Mr. Naji?
Yes, ma'am, fine.
All right. So you guys should liaise and move from there. but you can see what others presented. They didn't have that long objectives, long aim. I mean, and this is the same thing we corrected last week, and you're still coming up. So you apparently just went to change topic and probably tell us exactly what you are doing that is new, that hasn't been done before.
This right management system is existing.
No.
Add,
You can't explain. There's no need to explain this evening.
okay.
You need to work on your slide and tell us exactly what you are doing. I've told Mr. Lanite he would help you out. And you guys should get back to me on Thursday.
Okay, ma, thank you.
All right. I guess everybody has presented. There's somebody that he said he did not come. I don't know that person's name. Mr. Lanite.
The last person has joined. The three of them presented today eventually.
Okay. So everybody has presented.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I think so.
So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dinka, for your time and your patience. To the candidate that have presented, please stop sharing your screen. To the candidates that have presented, I hope you have seen some of the errors that you have committed and some of the lapses that has crept into your work. Some of you just want to waste people's time without any substance. And I hope that's, well, I don't know. I just want to speak to Ashley because I'm a bit pissed off right now with what I'm seeing as your presentation. Yeah, Mr. Akasai, I think you can do better. Your presentation was very poor today, right? I think you should do better. I think the presentations today weren't so cool as we expected. At least we had some cool presentations last week. Well, nonetheless, you guys have presented, you have seen the criticisms. Then this is just a test template of what you are going to be seeing when you go and defend with some people. Well, I just pray some of you will not be shared to go and present with Dr. Fashino. You will cry out of the venue because this is not good enough for him. He's a very thoroughbred lecturer, and I don't think he will allow you to present as shabbily as you have done today. Well, but I think you have tasted what presentation is. Another thing is that you guys should get what you should display as your thoughts on your slide. You should learn how to bring up your slides. There are different ways of bringing out your slides. Some of you, your slides, you just copy straight from your documents and you put it. No, you have to put it in just bullet forms that's short that you can talk on. Not that you come and be reading lecture notes for us. No, you should not go in that direction. Yeah, and I'm sure some of you, actually the MIT too, you have seen the deadline for the submission of your current topics, right? So I hope that you will be able to look at your topics now in a brighter light than what you're supposed to do. Now, you see, this is what is expected of you. Now, after the approval of the topic, you're starting to carry out a critical review of the topic. A critical review. So you are doing a review of literatures, current literatures. I have told you your reviews should be 2019, 2021, or 2020, 2021, 2022 papers that you will look at. Your flow of thought should be top-notch, right? So that the students will be required to present their findings in a seminar examination. So you are going to face a panel to present your thoughts again. Now, the students, the subject master must have theoretical and technical components. So it's not just that you be telling us stories. There must be technicalities. And of course, when you say theoretical background, that means the science behind what you are presenting. Then the technical component, how do you want to present it in a way that it will be technical enough for implementation? No, you're not going to implement in your research and your current topics. Please note that the seminar write-up will be checked for plagiarism. So it's expected that you do not go and copy somebody's work and bring. Now, this is the outline. For the title page, that's the front page matter. You have your topic, not that this project topic, just say overview or something on this. That's it. Don't put this current topic. No, just say design and implementation of this. That's your topic. Then the course title. What's the course title? MIT 2824, right? Then the author's name. That's your name. Your surname, comma, then your other names. Your matric number, then the dates. So you don't have to put impartial, fulfillment, or whatever, but if you want to put it, so an abstract should be approximately 200 words. You can see very specific. So in word count, you should let it to be around 250. Abstract is introduction, what you have done, the result you have gotten. So 3 paragraphs, introduction, what you have done, what you have obtained. So the abstract provides a summary of the areas being addressed or rationale for the review, the major studies review, and the conclusion drawn. References should not be cited in abstract. That's a practice. Introduction provides information about the contents, indicates the motivation for the review, define the focus, and explain the text structure, right? So you are going to tell us how you have organized your text. Now, your introduction matters a lot. There must be flow of thought and there must be mastery of what you want to do. So your literature review discusses the history and also the previous work that has been done in the area that you have chosen your review. Then architectural and conceptual model, present the theoretical framework, architectural framework, technical details, etc. where applicable. So if you are doing a design, you tell us what an architectural framework is. You draw like an architectural framework. Okay, let me show you what, let me see if I can say, I just drew one architectural framework recently. Coming. Yeah, I'm sure some of you are conversant with the use of VCO. So I think that's where you come up with your architectural framework. I'm coming. I'm trying to get display right here. Share. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these are the example of an architect. Let me see if I can reduce the size. An architectural framework. Stop this. Okay, don't worry. Let me stop share. Let me do for the Word document. Coming. Let you fit onto the. Okay. So let me say share screen. Okay. Yeah, so can you see my screen now? Yeah, this can be an architectural framework or conceptual framework, right? Now, this is the first segment, which is image acquisition. So you get the images from file servers, digital hard copy, other sources, isolated databases. So you populate them in a database, you subject them to HL7 protocol. Of course, this will now make them into DICOM files and they are sent into picture archiving and communication system. Then from this picture archiving and communication system, you pick up a particular image, you perform anonymization on the image data. Then once the image has been anonymized, you extract features. The feature is indexed, then you can search using any search engine. So this is what I intend to do for a research work, right? So this is one method, right? This is another method, then this is another method. So I'm going to have three objectives here. One, obtain medical images from different sources. Then after that, still on that same objective, then I can perform some pre-processing on the images before being stored in packs. After that is done, then I carried out an anonymization process on this image using the key anonymity algorithm, right? Then after that, I perform feature extraction using texture on the image. Then I can now do some level of search. So you see, this is one method. Then underneath, you have the processing here. Then after that, I have the anonymization, which is one of the objectives that I've set out to do. Then another objective is feature extraction, which leads to indexing of the images in the database. Then another one is the search using the distance measure algorithm to search. So here we can have first objective, second objective, third objective, and fourth objective. So by the time you come up with your architectural framework in your methodology, it shows you what exactly you want your objective to be, not just writing some plenty statements and taking them to be your architectural framework. Do you get it up to this point, or do you have any questions on this before I move on?
It's okay for me, sir.
All right, so moving on. So let me go back to that document. Where is that document? I think I've closed it. I'm trying to open the seminar topics. Oh, sorry. So share screen. Seminar topic. Okay, seminar template. All right. So now you see, I've told you what the architectural conceptual framework is all about. Then, of course, you also technical details, your use case diagram, your time, a lot of designs. Let me see if I can get one of my work. Let's see, coming. Please give me a few minutes at least so that's okay. Overall, trying to see. Okay, well, it's not here, but let me just share this screen with you so that you see. Okay, new share. Share. Now, can you see my screen? Now, you see. Can you see my screen now, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you see, this is my own introduction. Telemedicine, e-health, information indexing, information retrieval, present search paradigm, feature vector extraction, content-based image retrieval, sensory and semantic gap, wide context. Now, this is what I'm presenting as my own introduction. So it is not modeled up with several words. Everything I want to talk about is just in bullet form. Now, I can talk about telemedicine and e-health offhand. I can talk about information indexing and information retrieval offhand. Then, based on what I've reviewed, where are we in the paradigm of search? So what feature vectors can be extracted from any image? So why that after that, you know, feature vector will lead you to context-based image retrieval. Then why do you have to do the research? There's sensory and semantic gap in every research in image representation. So, and I'll say, okay, because there's a problem with sensory and semantic gap, then why do I have to introduce the context? So this is the topic that I presented for my qualifying exams. Now look at the statement of problems. Now medical images printed of film strips are subject to deterioration and only one set are available at per time. One, simple. Huge size of medical images, I speak to it. The site that employs description-based approach is very laborious. Lack of systematization in the annotation process decreases performance. This I will explain. Sensory and semantic problem, I will explain them. Little work on to extract content from compressed medical images. This is the main crust of where I'm contributing to knowledge. The others are solving problems of sensory and semantic gap, then providing the first description for the query is a concern. This is another place I'm providing solution. Then implementation of content-based image retrieval system is plagued with cumbersome user interface. Those are my. Now look at the aim of this research work is to develop a hybrid context-based image retrieval system for compressed medical images in picture archiving and communication system as stored as a digital image in communication file format. So what I want to do is just to develop an hybrid context-based image retrieval system. Not only that, no system has done context-based extraction, content-based image retrieval for compressed medical images. Of course, they would have done for medical images, but they done for compressed medical images from literatures non-existed. And oftentimes, most people always compress their, change their medical images to JPEG file format. But I want to insist that the image will be stored in the .dcm file format. Now, look at my objective. Develop a model for context-based image retrieval system and implement it with the existing architecture of PACS with the inclusion of a compression module. This can now be implemented using several methods. This first objective can now be broken down into different methods in methodology. You develop a model for context-based image retrieval system. One, so how do I develop this context-based image retrieval system? Then how do I implement the existing architecture with other improvements? Then I will now include a compression module. Now acquire medical images with DICOM tags. De-encapsulate, that's the first thing is acquire medical images with DICOM tags. De-encapsulate the medical images. That means remove the DICOM tags from the medical images. Then extract and link the context from the DICOM tag. So I'm defining a context-based, which has not existed before, a context for extracting features from a medical image. So I'm now defining, I'll be using the DICOM tags as the major context extractor. Then we have to compress the image data of the medical image and extract content feature from the compressed medical image. Then we have to index the compressed medical image data impact using context feature. Then we carry out performance evaluation of the implemented system using precision recall and F measure. Then I go to my literature review. You see my literature review is not cumbersome. Then I continue with just few words. This is my physical layout of packs. Now, this is my, okay. This is image compression, the lossy, the lossless. Then the algorithm I want to use for compression, the embedded 03 wavelet algorithm. Then feature context to be extracted. Then you see, just now, these are the works that was done, right? Here. So this is the process of my methodology. Then this is the flow for my content and content-based feature extraction. This is the way I want to present my results. Then this is the model for my research. You see, all these drawings are due to me because one, I understand what I want to do and I'm able to represent them pictorially. Then if you look at my thesis very well, you now see the breakdown of all these modules into different processes. Then you have the results that are being presented. So it is important that you know what you are supposed to present, your use case diagram, but I think I don't have the time to show you the details on my screen, as it were, so that I don't belabor you with time. So in essence, let me see, new share, where's that document? So I think that document is missing. I don't know where that's going to go. Stop share, okay. Share screen. Sorry, I think. Okay, template. So that is what you are supposed to do here. You represent with a lot of diagram, just use your use case diagram to explain most of the technical details. Use your initiative and deduction to bring out the theoretical framework and the actuarial framework. Then applications, what area? Present example application of the concept being discussed. Where can we apply your current topics? Then discussion, develop the conclusion by briefly restating the rationale and purpose for the review. Then discuss the conclusions drawn. The implications of your review finding and future trends should also be discussed. Then you include your references in and you list in the work and you list them. So this is the seminar, I think is on your group chat. You look at it, package your reviews. And I want to have at least the current topics you want to present to the department. I want to see it before the end of this month. You are going to do, as in sending your the work you want to present. Now I've told you is font 12, time New Romans double spacing, right? Your work should be justified. Don't go and lead somebody's work and push it to me. And it should be well formatted, right? So let me even give you a more stringent constraint so that you will know that this is a serious matter. So by next week, Friday, I want to have the draft of your current topic. What you want to just take all these templates that Dr. Banjo has given to you, then fix something in between. Let me see what you are capable of. And for those of you who cannot use VCO, you should go and learn how to use it. So I'm coming, stop share, and share screen. Share. So matters arising, presentation, current topics. So here we are now at AOB before adjournment of meeting. Yeah, so do you have any other business? Any other business? All of you are asleep.
I have a question. Go ahead.
Who is speaking? Emmanuel. Yes, I'm listening. I can't hear you properly too. Mr. Emmanuel.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir. Do I go ahead, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir. The file you shared, you said we should fix in something into each of the chapters. I don't quite understand. Are we going just give like what we intend to do for each of those templates you shared in those chapters?
It's not chapters. They are just the way you are supposed to present, or the way you are supposed to format your current topics. Those are the subtitles you are supposed to put. So you have your front page matter, right? You have your abstracts. So those are the things I expect you to put. You write an abstract. You write what you want to do. You write a conclusion. Or did I get your questions wrong?
No, sir. No, sir. You
Or are you pleading? Are you already? Are you telling me that the time given is not going to be sufficient? As in 1 week, it's not sufficient for you to come up with something strong. Then we extend it to 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I think 2 weeks is okay, sir. So we can just
Then you should have gone straight to that question instead of telling me you don't understand what.
Thank you, sir.
It was just,
So
being,
2 weeks.
it was just being diplomatic.
Bill. Yeah, do you have any other questions or concerns before we round up the class? Sorry, the meeting. You can see some people have already run away. Then they will come back next week and tell me that. Yeah, I think
Hello,
there's
sir.
no other. Yes, please.
Sorry, sir. Please, I don't know if we are lucky enough to have this video captured, sir, so that we can go over it again, sir.
When I've shared my work, that would be a criminal offense. So.
Sorry, sir.
Well, you can see it's being shared live on what's the name?
YouTube.
YouTube, so you can see there.
Okay, so we can search with this credential.
Yeah, just search Femi Alamu. I don't know, but okay, let me see if I can copy the link.
Okay, sir.
If I'm able to do that, I'll share it now. Coming. So imagine people all over the world looking at some of the things you are presenting, and they will just say, see these guys, they fall under. So where's this copy? Yes, I'm coming. Where's chats? Okay. So I'm putting it on charts. You can look at it there. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so that's the YouTube. Once I'm done, you should be able to log, or you can even look at it now so that you can see. So that's all for now. Okay, let me see. Where is that research meeting stuff? So in the absence of no business, can we have an adjournment of the meeting? So on the meeting, we have Mr. Sulaiman, Mr. Ola Sheye, Mr. Emmanuel Efubi Anolika, Mrs. Dolapo Ali Balogun, Chidera Agu, Suleiman Daudu, Olanite, Abidemi, Okechukwu Unaji, Akase. I'm coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. All the people concerns are there around. All I think it's just the new ones are Anolika and Chidera Agu. Those are the new fellows who are here. Yeah. Have you again? That's all. All right. At least we have tried our best. Adjournment of the meeting, please. Motion for adjournment. Oh.
Good evening, sir. My name is Sulaiman Dauda. I move the motion to adjourn the meeting to the next 2 weeks.
Okay, next 2 weeks is okay. Next, who is going to second it?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I, Dolapo Ali Balogun, second the motion for the adjournment of the meeting.
Yeah, thank you very much for the motion. Yeah, can we have a closing prayer?
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Father Lord, we say thank you for today's meeting. We appreciate your name, be thou exalted in Jesus' name.
Amen.
We pray that you, Lord, would help us through this project, and at the end, all glory will be ascribed unto you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. So thank you everyone for attending. And of
Please,
course,
your name, ma. The closing prayer.
Amen. Chidera, as Chidera.
Chidera. Yeah, so thank you for attending the meeting. And well, according to the motion, the mover of the motion, we are meeting in 2 weeks' time so that we have time to face our different businesses. And we don't also waste the data, because we're 18 when I think 15 or something. Some people have dropped out, so that we don't waste people's time, because that's what you see it to be. So we'll meet in 2 weeks' time if Jesus has not returned. But if he has returned, I think I'll go with first flight. All right. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, ma.
Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you, ma.
Thanks, sir.